This edition of the TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome back to the Great Western Forum in South Bend, where we get ready for number 3 Crown Point and number 4 South Bend, Washington. Time now to look at our keys to win, brought to you by the aforementioned Jordan Automotive Group. And when we talk about this Crown Point team, the discussion begins with their talented guard, Jessica Carruthers. The 5'7" senior is committed to IUPUI. She's scoring 21 points with 4 rebounds a game, but she also leads the team in assists and steals. One of the great scorers in Indiana high school girls basketball history. She'll get help on the inside from Lily Stoddard, a Purdue commit. 6'3" senior, 11 points and 9 rebounds a game, and she can be an eraser on the defensive end with 52 block shots. The keys to win for Chris Seibert and the Lady Bulldogs.
The Bulldogs need to try to keep the bigs off the boards for Washington. They got to body up, and they got to get inside position and stay there. Role players must step up for Crown Point, otherwise this could be a 3-on-5 game, and they don't want that. And they've got to string some stops together. They got to keep the Panthers from getting rolling. Once they do, they're really tough to stop. Chris Seibert is in his 13th season as head coach at Crown Point, and he's looking forward to this matchup as one of the top matchups in the state.
No question. We actually had this on the schedule last year, but because of COVID, we weren't able to play this. So very excited that we were able to do that tonight. And I think, again, both of us benefit, right? We just a good game against 2 high-level teams, and hopefully that will, again, benefit us both heading into the tournament.
Meanwhile, the Washington Panthers come in with a high-powered lineup of their own, led by the Maryland commit Mila Reynolds, the 6'2" junior, averaging over 23 points and 8 rebounds a game. She's already the number 2 scorer all-time at Washington. And I said it, Junior, she is a senior. I'm sure Steve Reynolds would like to get her an extra year here at Washington, but she's had a heck of a career, hoping to cap it with a state championship. And she gets some help in the backcourt from Rashunda Jones, the Spider, 5'8" junior, is averaging 11 points and almost 5 rebounds a game. She's committed to go down and play at Purdue. She can light it up, and very explosive in the open court with 82 assists and 74 steals. The keys to win for Steve Reynolds and the Panthers.
Well, we said Reynolds. How about rebound? And they need to have 3 players tonight with about 8 rebounds. They need to balance it out, but everybody have that mindset. They got to give Carruthers the attention that she deserves, stay in front of her, limit her touches, especially on the perimeter, and then keep them off the foul line. Crown Point comes in 6% better on the season from the free throw line. It could be a factor. Steve Reynolds in his 8th season already at South Bend, Washington, and he wants to see what is get out of his team tonight.
Tonight, the biggest thing is we have to have effort. You know, we're going to play, we're going to rotate 8 to 9 kids. They're going to get that out there on the court, and that's one thing I've never had to just beg from them. And so I just want to see that again tonight. But the biggest thing to me is I think we're going to win championships rebounding. I know we're tall and athletic and things like that, but rebounding is really a mindset. And so we've really been trying to drive that home, and that's what I really want to see tonight.
A pair of championship contenders squaring off in a heavyweight match in South Bend. Number 3 Crown Point and number 4 South Bend, Washington. Those have been the Jordan Automotive keys to win. The starting lineups and the opening tip from the Great Western Forum are next on 46.
We strongly encourage you to show your respect for the student athletes, coaches, officials, spectators, and support groups that are present and recognize their performance in a positive manner. These student athletes have devoted much of themselves in preparation for this contest. At this time, would everyone please stand? Gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
This edition of the TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you by Intera Credit Union. We get it, and we've got it. Starting lineups being introduced. Here's Bob Nagel.
For the Crown Point Bulldogs will be Olivia Santiago playing at a guard. She wears number 10. She's a 5'7" senior. Brooke Lindsmith is also a guard. She is a 5'9" junior, wears number 13. Number 14, Jessica Carruthers. She plays at a guard. She's a 5'7" senior, one of the best in the state. Nikki Gerodimos is at a forward position. She's a 5'11" senior, wears number 23. At number 31, the big girl inside is Lily Stoddard. She's a 6'3" senior for Crown Point. Now, the starting lineup for the Washington Panthers. Amaya Reynolds is a 6-foot junior. She'll start at a guard. Rashonda Jones, we'll call her Spider quite a bit tonight. She's a 5'8" junior. She'll be starting at a guard as well. Kyra Reynolds is a 6'4" freshman. Outstanding freshman, wears number 11. She'll be playing at a forward along with Shamara Allen, a 5'10" senior. Shamara wears number 14. And number 15 is Mila Reynolds. She's a 6'3" senior forward for the Washington Panthers.
So the head coaches were talking things over at midcourt during the warm-ups. Chris Seibert in the red, Steve Reynolds in the black. And of course, they were both down in Indianapolis last year for the state finals. Crown Point won the 4A crown. Sappan Washington lost to Silver Creek in the 3A state championship game. The officials as assigned for tonight's game, that's Keith Chard. He'll be working with the well-tanned Dave Spencer and Bruce Wyrick tonight.
St. Andrews Products wants to give a check on the uniforms for tonight. The home team, the Washington Panthers, wearing the white uniforms with the green numbers and green trim. The visiting team, the Crown Point Bulldogs, wearing red uniforms with white numbers and white trim. These teams are looking good, and so can your team. St. Andrews Products has the finest apparel as well as promotional products. Reach us at sales@standrewscorp.com. Here with the play-by-play, my partner Chuck Freeby.
Crown Point wins the opening tip. The Lady Bulldogs are 18-2 on the season. Their best win over Kenwood Academy of Illinois in a couple of overtimes on Martin Luther King Day. Their losses came to Noblesville and Mount Notre Dame out of Cincinnati, Ohio, who's won about 75 in a row. That's Jessica Carruthers feeding Lily Stoddard. Olivia Santiago wears number 10. Brooke Linda Smith into the paint. The layup no good, and the rebound to Amaya Reynolds. Here come the Washington Panthers, 19-2 on the season. And good transition defense by Crown Point knocks the ball out of bounds. Steve Reynolds' team won the Hall of Fame Classic. Their losses came to Indianapolis North Central and Homestead. The inbounds pass to Kira Reynolds, and Reynolds lays it up and in. Kira, the 6'4" freshman, with the first basket of the game, and the Panthers jump out on top. Nikki Gerardimos, now Carruthers, guarded by Rashunda Jones. Lily Stoddard couldn't get to the pass. It's taken away by Kira Reynolds. The freshman comes the distance with the spin move and travel.
Boy, the officials just are told in all their seminars, nobody can spin without traveling.
Well, in that case, it was an accurate call.
Yep.
We played a minute 15, 2-0 Panthers. Crown Point, deliberate, trying to work it around the outside of this zone, and Lily Stoddard's three well off the mark. Another rebound for Kira Reynolds. And she'll bring the ball up. Mila Reynolds working against the man-to-man defense of Crown Point. Kira down low. Mila couldn't hit, and the rebound to Stoddard. Here comes Carruthers for the Bulldogs. Good sagging off defense, but she found Stoddard with the bounce pass, and she draws the contact. It'll be called on Mila Reynolds, the first on her.
Chuck, Washington's in a zone defense, and they're playing it pretty tight. They want to make sure that nobody gets behind them. Now, that particular possession, look at a good entry pass there, created the situation, the opportunity to score. This
is the one area of Lily Stoddard's game that could use some work. Only a 44% foul shooter, and that one rimmed out on it. Terrific rebounder, all Duneland Conference selection last year. Certainly likely to be again this year. She had a season-high 22 against Kankakee Valley. Couldn't hit those, but Gerardimos, who does a lot of the little things for this team, gets the rebound. Held ball, and the alternating possession goes to Washington. Steve Reynolds' Washington Panthers have not played since Martin Luther King Day. They were supposed to play Jimtown last Friday, but the Jimmy program came down with COVID. So he's very curious as to what his team is going to look like tonight. Rashunda Jones, oh, nice ball movement, and Mila Reynolds gets the ball underneath for two. She averages 23 a game. Panthers jump out to a 4-0 lead. Washington switching defenses. Stoddard pops outside again for three, can't hit, and the long arms of Kira Reynolds brings in that rebound. Kira going all the way and lost it out of bounds. It'll go still to Washington.
I don't know if Stoddard was the game plan, shooting threes. A little surprising on the season. She's just 25% from three-point range.
Yeah, just 2 of 8 coming into this one, so not something you typically see from Chris Seibert's team. Mila Reynolds with the head fake, couldn't get it to go. Well defended by Stoddard. Santiago with the rebound. Carruthers ahead to Stoddard in transition, got the bucket and the bump. You'll get another look on the 46 replay. Foul will be called on Shamar Allen, her first. I think Crown Point caught Washington sleeping a little bit that time. Surprised them with the transition game.
And back on their heels just enough.
Stoddard with the old-fashioned three-point play. It's a 1-point game. And certainly the pace early on, one that you would consider favoring Crown Point. The lob here to Amaya Reynolds. She's tried to feed Mila, knocked away. Now Amaya with the wing jumper, and the bank is open on a Tuesday night. So all 3 Reynolds sisters have scored, and it's 6-3 Washington. Carruthers well defended by Spider Jones.
That's a tough matchup for anybody against Spider.
Linda Smith. Now Gerardimos saw the baseline open. That fed Stoddard for the bucket. Lily Stoddard really good at moving without the ball, and Steve Reynolds wants a timeout to talk about the defense. 4:07 to go, first quarter. Nip and tuck we go. Washington by 1 on Crown Point on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. Chris Seibert talking things over with his Crown Point Lady Bulldogs as they get ready for the 4A tournament, and of course Washington in 3A.
Folks, wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are their most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because ReshCore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. Learn more about joining the ReshCore family and getting that $1,000 sign-on bonus. Visit ReshCore, RESCHCOR.com.
Mila Reynolds with the bucket of the bump. Looks like she was fouled by Gerardimas, and Mila will go to the line for free throws sponsored by Washington High School as you get another look on the R&B Car Company replay. Reynolds fired up about the basket. The Maryland commit closing in on 2,000 points for her career. She's at 1943 after that free throw. Nice move by Carruthers, but she couldn't finish. Gets her own rebound though. Santiago for 3. The iron unkind, the rebound corralled by Amaya Reynolds. Reynolds had it knocked away. Carruthers with the steal. Carruthers with the pull-up. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound goes into the hands of Spider Jones. You know she wants to go in the open floor and does for 2. Rashunda Jones, the 5'8" junior, averaging 11 points a game, puts Washington up by 6. Crown Point had some good looks in those last 2 possessions. Now Carruthers wings up a 3. That doesn't go. Santiago for 3. The topside triple is home. Olivia Santiago with her 29th three-pointer of the season. Cuts the lead in half. Amaya Reynolds on the outside as Crown Point has switched to a 2-3 zone, it appears. Amaya found the nice cut underneath, and Kira Reynolds puts it high off the glass for 2. And a timeout called by Chris Seibert. He doesn't like his defense right now. We'll keep it here with 2:28 to go first quarter.
Reminder, folks, that TCU is better banking, where you'll get the latest in technology and you're never too far from a friendly face. Discover the TCU advantage. Become a member today at tcunet.com. Federally insured by the NCUA.
A bevy of Division I players in tonight's game. As you take a look, there's at least 6 on the floor. 5 have already made their commitments. And Kira Reynolds only a freshman, so not surprising that she doesn't know where she's going yet, but it's clear to anybody watching she's a D1 player. And Craig Heatherly, I'm just curious, as a D1 player yourself, when you came out of Mishawaka, your thoughts on the talent level you're seeing on the floor tonight?
Yeah, it's a ton of length on, for South Bend, Washington. We knew that. Really interesting to see them offensively, how much action they get by throwing the ball near the free throw line, playing a little bit of a high-low game on offense for Washington. And Chesterton's doing Crown Point, is doing a great job of getting her on the left side of the floor, allowing her to drive into the paint and make plays for others. We'll see if the supporting cast can make enough shots for him.
Well, that was one of the keys for Chris Seibert coming into this one. He knew that Carruthers and Stoddard would be fine. He needs to get some points out of the rest of his players. So who's going to step up? Perhaps it's Emily Phillips, but she couldn't get that one to go, and the rebound comes to Kira Reynolds. Now in transition, Raya Wilson. And we have a foul called underneath. I'm not sure that it was a shooting foul. Dave Spencer calls that foul on Carruthers. That's her first.
A lot of bumping and grinding going on inside the paint.
Steve Reynolds barking out the play from in front of the Washington bench. The lob to Shamara Allen. Now Rashunda Jones hard to the hole, blocked by Lily Stoddard. She's so good at that for Crown Point. Here come the Bulldogs the other way. Carruthers with the hesitation dribble, lost the handle. Wilson showing her handles, and she'll come all the way but missed the layup. And out of bounds to Crown Point. Occasionally you'll see a freshman play like a freshman, and that might have happened on that layup.
Yeah. I love the way she transitioned, though, got down the floor, created an opportunity.
Steve Reynolds, former Riley player, engaged in front of the Washington bench. Ball goes through the hands of Ava Zolkowski, but she got it back. Now Phillips has it for three. Off the front iron, but there's Carruthers with an offensive rebound. And Washington able to take it away. It goes right back. Carruthers comes in strong. Felt she was fouled, no call. Jones comes the other way in a hurry and throws it away. And Steve Reynolds telling his team just what they're doing wrong right now.
4 turnovers for Washington, 4 also for the Crown Point Lady Bulldogs. Bulldogs leading on the boards right now, 7-6.
See if Crown Point decides to try to hold for the last shot. Might have been the philosophy. It was then not executed. Shamara Allen comes down and draws the contact on the blocking foul. She'll go to the line for 2 free throws sponsored by Washington High School.
Allen shooting 60% from the line, which is the team free throw average on the year.
Shamara, transfer from St. Joe, misses off the back iron. She hit the game-winning shot against Mason, Ohio on Martin Luther King Day in that game.
Shamara, the only one of the starters who has not scored in this game for Washington.
Allen will get another. She's had some health issues this year. Couldn't get that one to go either. And Crown Point has Carruthers trying to work around this trap, and it's a blocking foul called against Wilson of Washington.
Wilson's first.
And Washington will go to the bench. I believe that's Monique Mitchell that just checked in. Some different numbers than the roster.
Yeah, Steve Reynolds told us, he said, I'd like to play all 8 or 9 players.
Look at that nice pass to Stoddard, but she didn't finish. Kira Reynolds having a big night on the board so far for Washington. Jones finds Mila Reynolds, 4-3. Oh, it just rattled out. And that's the way the first quarter comes to an end. These two teams, ranked in the top 5 in the state of Indiana, came out fired up and ready to play tonight. And it's been a battle of the bigs so far. Mila Reynolds leads Washington with 5. Lily Stoddard has 5 for Crown Point, and the margin is 5 for the Panthers on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to us in part by Wolverine Mutual Insurance, protecting you and your family for generations. Down on the court, our Bills Heating Sideline report comes from Craig Heatherly. What impressed you the most about that first quarter?
Yeah, you can tell when Carruthers has the basketball. South Bend Washington's putting a ton of focus on the basketball. They're trying to move all the help, shift all the help over there to make her become more of a passer, less of a scorer. So, curious to see if they continue to go with that mindset, or if they're going to maybe get out there and pressure the basketball a little bit more, get out in transition. I like the turnovers there for Washington. I hate to say that, but you got to get the rust off. Want to see your girls get up and down because I think they can have some opportunity there.
Thanks, Craig. Second quarter brought to us by Wolverine Mutual Insurance. And Bob, he mentioned Carruthers getting that attention that Steve Reynolds talked about in our keys to win. He said she's going to get a lot of attention from us, and it's shown so far.
She's 0 for 4 on the night so far, and she's had some tough opportunities, but that's what she does, score.
Amaya Reynolds with the rebound to the Gerardimas mix, and Amaya from the foul line cannot connect. The rebound saved in bounds and corralled by the Panthers. Mila Reynolds, and now her sister Amaya on the outside. Mila from the foul line. The Maryland commit is short, and the rebound to Stoddard. Here come Carruthers and the Bulldogs, still only trailing by 5 despite a tough shooting night so far. Gerardimas inside.
As a team, Crown Point 3 out of 14 in that first quarter from the field.
It didn't get any better there for Linda Smith, and the ball out of bounds. It will stay with Crown Point.
Crown Point was also 1 out of 6 from three-point range. Washington was just 0 for 1. I think Steve Reynolds wants his team to get that inside shot, not maybe living with the three-pointer early on.
Kira Reynolds and Roshunda Jones check back in for the Panthers. Inbounds pass to Gerardimas, and she scores. Nikki Gerardimas, who you'll meet at halftime, one of our TCU Student Athletes of the Week, averages 5 points a game. That's her first bucket tonight. And we're back to a three-point contest. Amaya Reynolds with the left hand. Now Wilson. Long three by Jones is offline. And it's collected by Carruthers in the corner.
A lot of one and done for Washington so far.
Well, terrific defensive efforts by both these teams so far tonight. Lots of times with these teams you focus on their offensive numbers because they're so stellar. Here's Gerardimas with a three to tie the game. Nikki Gerardimas with 5 points here in the second quarter to rally the Bulldogs. Jones kicks it outside. Mila Reynolds for three. And she has 8.
Right on time.
Well, just when I was lauding the defenses, the offenses start to click from the outside. Carruthers finds Stoddard underneath, and she traveled.
Turnover number 6 for the Bulldogs. Washington with 4.
Get another look at the three by Mila Reynolds. You cannot leave her open, even though she's 6'3". She will hurt you from the outside. That's her 41st three-pointer of the season. Nice pass down low to Mila, and she charges. That's the second foul on Mila Reynolds, and a little bit of an issue for the Panthers.
That's going to be one of their concerns, Chuck, not only tonight, but all season. You just can't afford to have your bigs, especially Mila Reynolds, a senior, getting in foul trouble early. She might be finding a seat here for the rest of the first half.
Meanwhile, it was Gerardimas who takes the charge, somebody that Chris Seibert was raving about on the phone yesterday when I talked to him about his ball club. A player who does a lot of the little things. He said she kind of has a Euro style to her game, and we've seen that here in the second quarter. That little move right there, taken away, though, by Roshunda Jones. Ahead to Shamara Allen for 2. What a pass. Just like that, the Panthers back up by 5. Jones with a little reach-in foul there as she wrapped around the body of Linda Smith. First on Roshunda, and that's the 5th on Washington. But take a look at the feed here from Jones to Allen in transition.
Wow. Threaded the needle, never had to hesitate.
That was a tight window. Santiago for 3, it's short, and the rebound to Kira Reynolds. Kira may already have double figures in rebounds tonight.
Washington doing a good job. There have been a lot of rebounds because there have been a lot of misses.
Jones with a nice feed to Amaya Reynolds, who found the cutter, but the ball thrown out of bounds off the hands of Kira Reynolds.
Turnover number 5 for Washington. 7 so far for Crown Point.
Two sisters talking it over there as they go back down to play defense.
5 players have scored for Washington, just 3 for Crown Point so far.
And Carruthers, who averages 21 a game, is not one of them. She tries to change it here, but can't. And another rebound to Washington, this time to Rashunda Jones. Amaya Reynolds slices into the lane, kicks it out, and Rashunda misses the 3. The rebound to Lily Stoddard. Carruthers with a nice feed right through the hands, though, of Emily Phillips. Chris Seibert will go back to his bench and put Ava Zolkowski, the 6'1 sophomore, into the game. Give Gerardimas a breather.
You can give the defenses for both teams a lot of credit on these turnovers. A couple of them have been unforced, but for the most part, good defenses leading to turnovers, leading to opportunities.
And there have not been a lot of transition opportunities for either team tonight, something that's typically a staple of their game. Look at the block by Stoddard, and ahead it comes to Carruthers. Phillips now on the outside. Zolkowski for 3. That's off the mark, and Wilson the rebound for Washington. Panthers by 5 midway through the second quarter. Down low, Amaya Reynolds kicks it outside. Shamara Allen buries the 3. That's only her 9th three-pointer of the season. But Steve Reynolds said in that tournament in Ohio that they played at, she was as good as anybody on the floor of the 2 games Washington played.
She shoots 36% on the year from three-point range. Maybe she'll be shooting a little bit more often.
Biggest lead of the night for the Panthers, and Zolkowski says not so fast. Ava Zolkowski with her 16th 3 of the season. The lanky sophomore gets Crown Point right back in it.
Stoddard and Zolkowski have gotten good looks from 3 because of the attention that Carruthers is getting.
Jones finds Wilson. The freshman caught in a trap and lost the ball to Zolkowski, who saves it inside. Scrum for the loose ball comes to Crown Point. Carruthers stolen away by Wilson. For 2. Raya Wilson with the basket. Zolkowski at the other end misses the layup. Kira Reynolds with the rebound, and Washington going at a fever pitch right now. Kira all the way in for the bucket and the bump. You get another look on the R&B Car Company replay. And the foul is called on Carruthers. That's her 2nd. And Chris Seibert wants a timeout to talk about things. We'll take it as well. 1:58 to go first half. Washington with its biggest lead, up 25-16 on 46. This edition of the TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV-46 for over 30 years. By the way, those IHSA pairings came out last week. And in the 3A sectional that Washington plays in, they're on the opposite side of the bracket from Mishawaka Marion, another team from this area in the top 20 of the Indiana Basketball Coaches Association poll.
We are rich with talent here in Northern Indiana this year. I mean, you look at teams like St. Joe, and an average year would be contending, and a couple of really good players on the team, but everybody else is so good. It makes it tough. And, you know, you look about teams like Northwood, who've been good in the past, are down a little bit, but other teams have stepped up, and it's been a great year.
And that Penn sectional, where you've got Northridge, Penn, and Warsaw all on one side of the bracket, That should be a fascinating watch and likely where we will wind up a week from Friday for the semifinals. Chris Seibert talking things over with the officials on the sidelines as Kira Reynolds waits patiently to take a free throw sponsored by Washington High School. The freshman, a 61% foul shooter, has 7 points now on the night. 10-point lead, and the Panthers bringing full court pressure. Zolkowski outside. Nice pass that time, but the layup missed by Zoe Wells. And on the rebound, Stoddard is fouled. Looks like they'll call it on Spider.
13 rebounds for the Crown Point Lady Bulldogs. Washington Panthers now with 14 rebounds.
That is the second foul on Rashunda Jones, so she'll see the bench the rest of the first half. Inbounds pass triggered, but the shot missed by Wells, and the rebound again to Kira Reynolds. Maya Reynolds will bring it up against this man-to-man defensive Crown Point.
Love the way Washington spreads the floor against that zone. Still creates space, like right there. Then you move off of that. The old Princeton-looking offense.
And it's a Maya Reynolds with the mid-range game for 2. 6-foot junior only averages 9 points a game, but she does a lot of the little things. And Shamara Allen does some things on defense to help the Panthers, like block shots. Interesting that Mila Reynolds coming back into the game now with 2 fouls with 1:04 left in the first half and her team up by 12.
Man. Jones, not a real big, tall girl, made a good leap to get a piece of that ball.
And a foul called on Mila Reynolds, and that's her 3rd. And Steve Reynolds in the ear of the oldest daughter.
You can go back in, but you can't do that.
And she took a swipe at that ball and wound up getting a piece of Lily Stoddard, who goes to the line and gets her 6th point of the night. And Shamara Allen will come right back in. Santiago and Gerardimas come back in for Crown Point. Well, that was an interesting gamble by Steve Reynolds, and we'll see what the consequences now are with Mila having her 3rd foul. Stoddard immediately takes advantage with 2 points.
Mila had 8 points. Not too far off her average here near halftime.
And surprisingly, not a palming call, but a travel call against Kira Reynolds.
That did look like a palming job there. Folks, Imagineering Finishing Technologies is a proud supporter of high school sports in Michiana. They know all about teamwork as they provide components for the aerospace industry as well as medical, automotive, military, and defense. IFT is excited about the future and very proud of its past. Celebrating over 60 years of excellence at IFT, quality is a way of life.
Washington's pressure pestering Crown Point. Gerardimas handles it up top for the Bulldogs. Carruthers playing with 2 fouls. Gerardimas found the open Phillips. Couldn't hit the 3, but there's Carruthers with the offensive rebound. Now 3 by Santiago is short. And Kira Reynolds gets the rebound for Washington. They've got time for a last shot. Kira Reynolds through the lane. What a shot! The scoop by the freshman is good. And Steve Reynolds is headed to the locker room with a 30-18 lead, but not before he speaks with Craig Heatherly and a Bills Heating sideline report.
Coach, first half right there. What do you think about your team's defensive effort on Carruthers?
They're doing what we asked them to do. And anytime you get kids that are as talented as they are, but they are also coachable, it makes a huge difference. And so we got to come out and do it again, because I know they're going to make an adjustment. I have so much respect for Crown Point, and we got to be on our stuff.
Now, what's the message to the team? I mean, it looks like you're working out there. The girls are working out there. What are you going to tell them in the locker room?
We got to keep working. We have to keep executing, and that's on both sides, offense and defense. And then we'll get Mila back this half. She's in a little bit of foul trouble, along with Shonda. So we just got to bring this home.
Awesome. Good luck, Coach. Back to you,
It
Chuck.
was an offensive first half for the Washington Panthers, and for Nikki Jaradima, she found the range from three-point. So too did Shamara Allen. It looked like it would go back and forth that way, but then the Panthers got that transition game going, and Wilson was able to go all the way for two. The Panthers lead at 30-18. Our TCU student athletes are coming up at halftime on the 46 Game of the Week.
And we welcome you back to the Great Western Forum, the home of the Washington Panthers, where tonight we've got one of the top games in the state. We also have a couple of outstanding student athletes to present to you, brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. Well, as we said, outstanding representation for each one of the schools. Rashonda Jones is with us from Washington High School, and Nikki Jaradimos is with us from Crown Point High School. And Nikki, first of all, congratulations on being singled out. You're doing a great job in the classroom.
Thank you so much.
Talk about what it takes to get that done. I mean, you're a busy young lady playing basketball at Crown Point.
I mean, it definitely takes a lot of work, but I think our coaches are very understanding, and they tell us all the time that school comes first, and we just have to believe in that and take any free time that we get to focus on school and make sure that we put that first.
You really have to be disciplined about that. Talk about what you want to study. I mean, I'm not sure you've picked the college yet, but you got a pretty good idea what you want to study.
So I'm not sure where I want to go yet, but I know I want to study probably statistics in the hopes of becoming an actuary, because I'm just a big fan of numbers and measuring risk, and I think that it's something that would interest me in the future.
Well, it's an outstanding field. We wish you all the best of luck with that. You've got a lot of people that have backed you along the way, taking you to practice at early morning hours. Give them a shout out.
Definitely my family, my mom, my dad, my brother, and everyone else that's helped me along the way. I couldn't have been here without them.
Well, you got a great community there at Crown Point as well. Congratulations on your success and best wishes in the future.
Thank you so much.
All right, Nikki Jaradimos from Crown Point High School. Rashonda Jones is with us from Washington High School. And this lady's been busy with volleyball and basketball. And boy, when you get involved in two sports, you're really having to manage your time, aren't you?
Yeah, we really have to manage our time between basketball and volleyball. So it's like as soon as we get done with volleyball practice, we go straight down to basketball open gym so we can just get up more shots.
Well, get up more shots and get better, and you guys have done a great job of that on an outstanding team here at Washington High School. Talk about the camaraderie that grows on a team and how close this unit is.
We're very close. We may butt heads a lot off the floor or on the floor, but at the end of the day, we're sisters, and we just have one goal: is getting to state and winning it.
Well, it's been a great run already, and it's a lot of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really fun.
Talk about what your plans are. I know you'd like to play at the next level.
Yeah, so I'm continuing at Purdue, and from there I want to play all 4 years there, and hopefully after go pro, and then come back and become a coach.
Wow, that's a great testament to Coach Reynolds, because you're having a good experience with him. You'd like to give that back.
Yeah, I would love to do that. Coach Steve has just changed so many people's lives, and I want to be the person that does that too.
That's great. Give a shout out to your people on your team that have helped you along the way.
Shout out my mom, my dad, my brothers, my sisters, and Coach Steve.
Wow, that's a pretty good list. Congratulations on what you've done already. Wish you the best of luck in the future, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right, Rashonda Jones, you might have heard about her as Spider, and she's playing tonight, and so is Nikki. We wish them both the best, and we're back with some halftime stats and highlights in a moment. Our feature brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. Stay with us.
This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to us in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. Halftime at the Great Western Forum in South Bend with the home team, the Washington Panthers, ranked number 4 in the IBCA poll, leading third-ranked Crown Point by a count of 30-18. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel high above the fray. And partner, we know that both teams are capable of playing pretty good defense. We saw it for most of the first half before Washington pulled away in that second quarter.
A couple things that come to us looking at the stat sheet. Number one, the shooting percentage for Crown Point in the first half, 26%. That's not going to get it done against anybody. And Carruthers with no points in that first half. That's a big number. Washington leads on the boards, and they've also shot the ball extremely well. It's just been a great performance so far for Washington. Even though they're up by 12, they've only scored 30, but they've been effective going inside as opposed to Crown Point trying to shoot the threes.
Well, let's show you how it got to be this way at the Great Western Forum tonight. Washington came out, beating the ball inside to Mila Reynolds. Crown Point was going inside early on as well, as they found Lily Stoddard in transition for a old-fashioned three-point play there. But then again, it's Mila Reynolds on the inside with a bucket in the bump. She had a nice first half. Olivia Santiago tried to keep Crown Point in it with a three-pointer there. And when Nikki Gerardinas hits this one, we're actually tied up at 13. But from that point on, it was almost all Washington. Reynolds with 3 of her team high 8. Actually wound up not being the team high. We'll show you in a moment. Shamara Allen had 5 in the first half. And then Kira Reynolds with this beautiful move. She wound up with 9 to lead all scores. And you mentioned the shooting disparity. Row 3 is the story of this one.
It really is. And when you look at 62%, that's really solid. Three-pointers, they're only 2 out of 5, Washington was, but 13 threes taken by Crown Point. They've only hit 3 of them. Free throw is not a big factor in this ball game, which is good for both teams. A little bit of foul trouble for Washington. Rebounds favor the Panthers, so do the turnovers, and Washington leads it by 12, and a lot of reasons why they're on the board.
Crown Point trying to work against the length of that South Bend Washington team. We've seen it give so many teams fits over the years. It's happening again tonight. Panthers lead at 30-18. Our second half from the Great Western Forum in South Bend comes your way after this. You're watching the 46 Game of the Week. And this edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT, where quality is a way of life. A way of life for us is Bill's Heating Sideline Report. Craig Heatherly, what did you hear at the half?
Yeah, Coach wanted to emphasize to his players on offense to continue to attack. He likes the shots that they got on offense, but he wants them to not settle. And then defensively, he wants them to get back in transition, build the wall, keep the ball in front, and limit easy opportunities for him. But ultimately, he knows there's no 12-point plays out here. So it's going to be, hey, let's cut it to 6. Let's get this thing competitive in the fourth quarter. That's the message to the team.
Not Chris Seibert's first rodeo.
No, and he's got a team that isn't here because of an accident. They can shoot the basketball. And the way the game is today, you throw in 3 3-pointers over a period of a couple of minutes, and next thing you know, we're hooked in one. And I would expect that we're going to see a good effort by Crown Point. And Washington, I'm sure Steve Reynolds told his team, hey, it's tied going into the second half.
Well, and when you talk about Crown Point, you're talking about a team, in fact, the only team in the state over the last 4 years with more than 90 wins. So it's not by accident that they wind up playing games like this. And quite often they wind up winning games like this. And Steve Reynolds said it before the game. You'll find them down by 10 or 12, and you wonder, well, how did they win that game? But they do.
Well, and Chris Seibert was adamant about the fact that this is a good test going in a tournament. So now you're talking to your team at halftime. You're saying, look, whatever happens here tonight doesn't matter as much as the fact that we've got to come back. We've got to fight. We've got to get off the floor and battle back and show our mettle here in this situation so we can count on that during the tournament.
Second half getting ready to begin. Our third quarter being brought to us by Wolverine Mutual Insurance. Washington will begin the half with the basketball and the 12-point lead. Amaya Reynolds will do the honors with the inbound. And they lob it down low. Kira Reynolds up strong and was hacked in the act by Jared Amos.
What took him so long?
So a design play coming out and executed beautifully by Washington. Kira Reynolds cashing it in. Watch the freshman show some of that strength as she goes up against Jared Amos and then hits the free throw for the old-fashioned three-point play.
And the biggest lead of the night.
15-point cushion for the Panthers. Jared Amos on the dribble. Linda Smith looking for some help. And Carruthers has just been stifled by this Washington defense.
Fans starting to cheer it up a little bit down there for Washington. Just frustrating this team from Crown Point.
And this is a very good Crown Point team. The defending state champs coming in with a record of 18-2. But they look like they're trying to solve the Sudoku right now. Outside, Linda Smith from the wing misses. And the rebound tipped, but right into the hands of Jared Amos for Crown Point. And Nikki is fouled by Spider Jones, her third. And Chris Seibert talked about this on the phone yesterday. You can do everything you want in practice until you actually face the length of Washington. You're not going to understand how to have to deal with it.
Crown Point leading in turnovers in this ball game, and that pressure from Washington each and every pass.
Everything seems contested. Jared Amos had that shot rattle out. Carruthers with her first basket of the night. The 5'7" senior averaging 21 a game finally gets in the scoring column. Shamara Allen open three. Her second of the night. She has 8 points. But you just see how hard Crown Point has to work for baskets and how easy Washington makes it look at the other end.
Well, Washington's worked hard to get the ball inside.
Jared Amos with her second three of the night. She has 8 points. That's her 10th of the season.
I say Washington's worked so hard to get it inside that when they decide to shoot a three, they're getting a good look.
Rashunda Jones has it thwarted. Here comes Crown Point the other way. Carruthers in transition and is fouled by Kira Reynolds. She'll go to the line for two, where she's an 86% foul shooter.
Our sincere thanks to the wonderful team at St. Andrews Products for supplying our broadcast team with the finest in apparel. They can do the same for your team, school, or business. Promotional products, advertising specialties, business gifts, and so much more. Give us a call at 800-628-9922 or email us at sales@standrewscorp.com. If you have a question, our answer will always be yes.
Washington going to the bench. Monique Mitchell coming into the game along with, well, she might be the only one coming in right now. Oh, Raya Wilson did come in. As you take a look at the numbers on Jessica Carruthers, 27th all-time in scoring in the state of Indiana. Now at 2,176 career points.
And 4 more in this third quarter than she had in the first half.
Mila Reynolds inside. Wanted the foul call, didn't get it. Here comes Carruthers the other way. Crown Point with a chance to knock it into single digits. Jared Amos wide open at the foul line, missed it. Here's Reynolds. Wilson, 4-3. Off the mark, but the rebound by Kira Reynolds. She can't get it to go, but Mila won't either. 3 good opportunities for Washington and a foul called underneath. You get another look on the R&B Car Company replay. Foul will be called on Mitchell. That's her first.
Couple of nice offensive rebounds in there for Washington. Just couldn't get it to go home.
Here's Carruthers, 4-3. That's offline, and the rebound to Linda Smith. Linda Smith blocked by Kira Reynolds, her 101st of the year, but then Lily Stoddard comes back with the bucket, and suddenly we're back to a 9-point game. Kira Reynolds fouled on the way up, and she'll go to the line for 2. Get another look at the last Crown Point bucket on the R&B Car Company replay. Stoddard banging that body and playing with the physicality that they like to see on that Purdue coaching staff. Kira Reynolds misses the first.
Hadn't happened very often tonight. She was 2 out of 2 prior to that miss. Folks, wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because ReshCore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the ReshCore family and getting that $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit reshcore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
Jared Demas traveled. Now they'll call it a held ball, and on the alternating possession, it goes to Crown Point. She was trying to wait for all the flying bodies to go by, but there were so many of them.
Boy, Reynolds has been real steady tonight.
Which one?
Yeah. Akira.
She has. She has not played like a freshman most of the night. Has the most block shots of any freshman in the nation. Carruthers, foul line jumper is good. Carruthers with 6 in the quarter. We're down to an 8-point game. Amaya Reynolds and 1. So Amaya will go to the foul line for the old-fashioned 3-point play sponsored by South Bend Community Schools. Get another look. The hesitation dribble, and she drew the contact from Santiago.
Santiago's first foul, I believe. No, it's her second.
Reynolds now with 7 points. That's Amaya Reynolds. And the lead back up to 11. Here's Carruthers around the screen. Lost it off her foot, but it was knocked out of bounds by Amaya Reynolds.
Carruthers doing what you can to light a fire under her teammates.
The reigning MVP of the Duneland Conference got a nice screen, but a too good of a screen from Jared Amos, who's called for the offensive foul. And Chris Seibert, perhaps not exactly enamored with that call, as he looks on from the Crown Point bench. Chris coached 6 years at Portage before coming to Crown Point. Has won 3 straight sectionals. And an amazing record over the last 4 seasons of 97-5. Here's Shamara Allen for 3, her 3rd of the night. Allen with 11. And just like that, Washington cranks off 6 in a row. Zolkowski at the other end, couldn't get it to go. Kira Reynolds, another rebound. In transition, Mila Reynolds couldn't get it to go. Rebound batted around, and there's Kira Reynolds with another. Allen feeling it. Not that time, and it hits the top of the backboard.
A couple more good opportunities in there with offensive rebounds for Washington.
Offensive rebound for Kira Reynolds helps her to her 9th double-double of the season. That's amazing for a freshman. And one of the reasons why just about any time you see Washington play, there's a college coach from somewhere in the stands. Stoddard up strong, couldn't get it to go, but she'll go to the line for 2.
Just so much talent on this floor tonight that even the backups are getting some attention from the coaches. Chuck, one of our keys to winning the ball game for Crown Point was their role players have to step up. And so far they've gotten some effort out of the role players, but for the most part, other than Zolkowski, nobody has been able to score off the bench for the Bulldogs.
Meanwhile, Stoddard misses the first free throw. As you see Rashunda Jones check back into the Washington lineup, taking the place of Mila Reynolds. Stoddard, terrific volleyball player as well. And she knocks that one down. She leads the way for the Bulldogs tonight with 10. Here's Amaya Reynolds inside, unable to connect. Stoddard the rebound. Let's see if Crown Point can make another run here. Beautiful transition from Carruthers to Stoddard for 2. She has 12. There just have not been enough of those transition opportunities for Crown Point tonight, and that's a credit to the Washington defense. Amaya Reynolds nearly threw it away. And then we've got a travel called on Kira Reynolds.
That is turnover number 10 for Washington tonight. Evening things up with the Bulldogs. Washington still leading on the boards now 21-19.
Here comes Carruthers for Crown Point. Now Abby Foster in the game. They find Carruthers in the corner working against Shamar Allen. Foster with the left-hand dribble, and she drew the contact. It'll be called on Monique Mitchell.
First on Mitchell.
Oh, check that. It's 35, not 25. That's Lauren Gillen, and that's her first. So Abby Foster, 56% foul shooter, goes to the line. The 5'9" junior hits the first.
Another country heard from.
Foster only averaging a couple points a game as you see Stoddard check back in. Chris Seibert understanding the last minute 42 of this third quarter could be critical to any comeback. Foster couldn't get that one, but Stoddard is there, couldn't get it to go either. And the rebound to Washington in transition. Jones up strong but short. She'll try again, no good. Rebound, Gillen couldn't get it to go, but she'll go to the line.
Well, that bench is working real hard for Washington in this third quarter, getting some minutes.
They'll call the foul on Lily Stoddard. It's her second. And the foul shot, sponsored by the South Bend Community Schools, is good. So if I'm correct, from what I just heard from the PA announcer, Monique Mitchell is wearing 35 and Lauren Gillen's wearing 25, which isn't anywhere close to what they are on our roster.
No, but they look nice.
Mitchell hits them both. The 5'11" freshman, a 59% foul shooter on the year, puts Washington back up by 12. Foster nearly lost the handle. Kicks it back outside to Stoddard. The pull-up is good. Lily Stoddard with 14 points. It's her 15th game in double figures this year. And she's keeping Crown Point in this one. And Steve Reynolds wants a timeout with 1:08 to go. We will take it as well. Washington with a 45-35 lead late in the third on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by St. Andrews Products, providing quality apparel to the PGA and to 46 Sports. Chuck Freeby, Bob Nagel, and Craig Heatherly back with you from the Great Western Forum tonight, where Chris Seibert's Crown Point Bulldogs trail by 10 with 1:08 to go here in the third quarter.
4 players have scored in this third quarter for Crown Point, which is a little bit more than they had in that first half. But South Bend Washington's also had 4 players, and keep in mind that Mila Reynolds is 0 for 3 in this third quarter. She's had some good looks inside, but hasn't been able to get it to go.
Washington led by 12 at the half. They had the lead up to as high as 15 here in the second half. Crown Point did get it down to 8 at one point. But every time that Crown Point looks like they're ready to get back in it, Washington has been able to put together a run. Steve Reynolds had a really good inbounds play coming out of the half, but here it's thwarted by Crown Point, and Washington has to reset. Mila Reynolds working down on the block. Couldn't get it to go. Stoddard snares the rebound. Carruthers in transition. Now Santiago. You see the clock, bottom right-hand corner of your screen on the Ontario Credit Union scoreboard. Santiago open for 3, but well short of the mark, and the rebound to Mila Reynolds. Here's Amaya Reynolds. And they'll go outside to Kira. Amaya from the baseline, Kira. 9 points for the Maryland commit. Crown Point will get the last opportunity here at the third. Santiago. Now Phillips for 3. That's way off the mark. Kira Reynolds with the rebound, and the third quarter comes to an end. Same margin as it was at halftime. Washington and Crown Point both fired up, trying to prove their place in the state rankings. And the 4th-ranked Panthers lead the 3rd-ranked Bulldogs by 12, going to the 4th on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Jordan Auto Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Basically just like Craig Heatherly's life. We go downstairs to him for a Bills Heating Sideline Report. Your thoughts on this 1 through 3?
Yeah, I want to shine a light on transition offense for both teams. Now that's playing in fast break, right? That's when the ball gets up and down the floor pretty quickly. The thing about Crown Point is they have to get the ball to what we consider the primary ball handler, and that's Carruthers. What's unique and dynamic about South Bend, Washington is anybody that rebounds the basketball can bring it up the floor. It just makes them so much faster, creates so many more opportunities. It's tough to guard.
Mila Reynolds was having some fun in the background of your shot there. Just put the peace sign up as she walked by you. And now she has the basketball, but her shot is short, and the rebound comes to Carruthers. Carruthers trying to make some transition offense happen for Crown Point, and does. She has 8 all here in the second half. Down to a 10-point lead. But Mila Reynolds, neck ball there. Rebound comes to Stoddard. Linda Smith will bring it over for Crown Point. And she lost it off her knee. Here comes Shamara Allen and the Panthers the other way. A travel called on Rashunda Jones.
Wow. Turnovers mounting up here early in the fourth quarter.
Steve Reynolds with some pirouettes on the sideline trying to show Bruce Wyrick just how that was done. And now a little bit of a one-way discussion with his daughter, Mila.
Yeah. And I think that Bruce has probably heard that discussion before.
Crown Point with the ball trailing by 10. Carruthers has had a strong second half, but couldn't get that one to go. The rebound finally corralled by Shamar Allen, and she's tackled from behind by Linda Smith.
Keep looking for Santiago to get more three-point tries. On the night, she's 1 out of 5, but 30% on the season, and she has been left open on a number of occasions.
Well, clearly the strategy to shadow Carruthers has paid big dividends for Washington tonight, because it's really seemed to keep Crown Point out of its offensive flow for most of the night.
Look at that quickness.
Mila Reynolds, 4-3. That's off. Kira Reynolds battling underneath, couldn't get it to go. It's knocked out of bounds. It'll go to Crown Point.
Really good offensive rebound in there for Washington, but couldn't score.
The shooting numbers that Washington put up in the first half at 62% have certainly dwindled here in the second half. The Crown Point with another turnover, unable to take advantage, and Amaya Reynolds will pull up and miss, get her own rebound, put it up and in. Now Amaya in double figures with 11, becomes the third Washington player in double figures tonight.
Big bucket there for Washington.
Linda Smith down the baseline, blocked by Kira Reynolds. It'll be Crown Point ball.
Linda Smith has not scored in the ball game. Came in averaging just under 6 points a game. Mila Reynolds, I think, went outside after first half. So far in the second half, she's 0 for 7 from the field.
Gerardinas couldn't get that runner to go, but Linda Smith hustles down the rebound. Carruthers flings the three and hits. Jessica Carruthers with her 24th three-pointer of the year, and we're down to a 9-point game. And things get a little uneasy for the home team. Jones airballs one, and it's out of bounds to Crown Point. And you'll get another look on the R&B Car Company replay at Jessica Carruthers putting her team right back in the game with the over-the-head three.
We're feeling that Jones kind of looking at that three-point try as an entry pass with all the rebounding size that Washington has, but that one got away.
Santiago. Now Linda Smith. Carruthers again for three. 14 in the second half, and it's a 6-point ball game in South Bend. Mila Reynolds spinning, winning. She's in double figures with 10. And now it's starting to look like what we expected tonight. Couple of heavyweights here in the later rounds. Carruthers. Linda Smith for three. That's way off. Allen gets the loose change in the corner. And Washington wanting to take its time here with a 8-point lead and 4.5 to go. Reynolds underneath, missed the layup. Here comes Carruthers the other way. Gerardinas down the lane for two. Timeout, Chris Seibert and Crown Point will take it as well. 4:17 to go. The Bulldogs living up to their name. Tenacious, and only down by 6 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by TCU, empowering members for 90 years. They're federally insured by the NCUA. Chris Seibert in the huddle with his Crown Point Bulldogs, who have taken what was once a 15-point lead. They are now back to within 6. That's as close as they've been since, well, mid-second quarter.
Washington 2 out of 9 here in the fourth quarter. Got some good looks, but shooting percentage has cooled down. Folks, engineering finishing technologies continues to be the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Our 3 Indiana locations are involved with supplying process components for aerospace giants, including the latest developments for Boeing and SpaceX. At IFT, we're like the teams in this game tonight, working real hard for a great finish.
And we may have one, thanks in part to the big second half by Jessica Carruthers, as the Crown Point guard has all 14 of her points after halftime. By the way, in that game down at the Airy tonight on the boys' side, where you've got 2 top 3 teams in Class 3A going head-to-head, Marion had a 6-point lead after 1.
Good basketball down there tonight. Tell you what, John Glenn, Travis Hanna, Bryson Hanna, they've done a great job down there.
Foul is called on Olivia Santiago, and that puts Washington in the bonus. So the Panthers will walk down to the other end, take free throws sponsored by the South Bend Community Schools as you look at Amaya Reynolds, the MVP of the Hall of Fame Classic back in December. She's got her 8th game in double figures tonight with 11. 62% foul shooter, drains the first.
Outstanding free throw shot there, and Trek, I was going to say one of the things that Coach Seibert might want to do is put Washington at the line, because on the season they're just 60% from there.
Reynolds now with 13. Carruthers will bring it up. Crown Point down 8 with 4 minutes and change to play. Santiago surveys the situation. It's a box and 1 by Washington. And you can guess who the 1 is guarding. That's Carruthers. Linda Smith blocked by Kira Reynolds, and she'll start the break. And Carruthers went right through her to get the ball and commits her 3rd foul, and will send the freshman to the line for free throws sponsored by the South Bend Community Schools.
One thing you can tell about Jessica Carruthers, number 1, she's a scorer. So even though she didn't score in the first half, you knew she's going to get some. And then she is just want to be tough as she can be on defense, trying to stir her team up a little bit, maybe to intensify their effort.
So Kira Reynolds, only a freshman, misses the first. And we have a whistle. And I think a lane violation was called there.
The official's going to have a discussion. While they do, we'll tell you that St. Andrews Products is celebrating over 30 years of serving corporations, high schools, and colleges, as well as the PGA Tour. Proud to support the new American Dunes Golf Course in Grand Haven, Michigan, providing resources for the Folds of Honor mission and providing scholarships to veterans and their families. Let us help your cause. Reach us at sales@standrews.com, where your expectations become our standards.
So Washington to inbound, but Carruthers gets the steal. Carruthers double teamed, finds Gerardinas. She'll go cross court to Santiago for 3. It's off the mark. And Washington will take it up slowly, leading by 8. Crown Point playing man-to-man. Rashunda Jones guarded by Zolkowski. And she's moving in and out enough to avoid a 5-second call. And now a timeout called by Steve Reynolds. He did not like how that possession was going with 2:57 left.
I was going to ask Craig Heatherly in that last situation, Craig, where Washington got the rebound off the miss by Linda Smith, and then they hurried down the floor. Is there ever a point in a game where as a coach just say, hey, look, let's take our time getting down the floor? Does that take you out of what you're trying to do and how you like to play?
Yeah, I think it just goes back to your offensive philosophy and the dynamics of your team, just playing to your strengths, because sometimes if you pull back, you get a little timid as the other team picks up the heat, as you just saw right there. So I think you want to continue just to play to your strengths and take any opportunities you can, because they're scoring at a high rate in transition.
Reminder, as you're looking at two of the best girls teams in the state, we'll show you one of the best boys teams in Class 3A. In fact, the #1 team in 3A on Friday night on 46 when we go to the Panther Pit for that Northern Lakes Conference showdown between Warsaw and Northwood. Warsaw beat #5 4A Valparaiso last week. We'll see if they can go and get the upset in the pit. Friday night 11, Saturday morning at 9 on your home for high school sports, TV-46. An 8-point Washington lead. And Amaya Reynolds gets it back outside to Shamara Allen. Rashunda Jones trying to drive on Zoe Wells. And does. And dishes to Mila Reynolds for 2.
What a pass.
Mila with 12. 4 Washington players have between 11 and 13 points. Wells can't hit the 3. Kira Reynolds another rebound. She has been huge on the boards tonight. Shamara Allen short. Here's Carruthers in transition. Pull up 3. 17 for Jessica Carruthers. And Steve Reynolds wants another timeout with 1:57 left and a 7-point lead. And I can tell you what's making him salty, the fact that Carruthers was left open.
Brothers in the second half chucked 6 out of 8 from the field, including 3 out of 5 from three-point range.
And so Crown Point back within 7 with 1:57 left. And you talked about early in the broadcast the free throw shooting of Washington, 66% as a team. But really, the person who makes that happen is Mila Reynolds. Everybody else is below that mark.
Right. As a team, Washington is a little deficient in that area. Crown Point a little bit better, but free throw opportunities have been few and far between for Crown Point. They've only had 6 here in the second half, only had 3 in the first half.
Crown Point 18-2 on the year. They had a marvelous double overtime win over Kenwood Academy of Illinois on Martin Luther King Day. Chris Seibert says that's definitely the best win they've had this year. When I asked him the best team he played this year, he said in Indiana it was Noblesville. That's the only team that beat him. And overall it was probably Mount Notre Dame out of Cincinnati, which has been incredible in the state of Ohio.
Well, he got what he wanted from his team in the second half, and that was a great effort to try to get back in it, and they've done that.
Well, and I think both these teams are appreciating the test that they get from one another as they get ready for the tournament. Rashunda Jones on the dribble, takes it all the way in, dishes it off for Kira Reynolds, but she couldn't get it to go, and the rebound to Zoe Wells of Crown Point. Carruthers for 3. Grenade on 20 in the second half for Jessica Carruthers. And we're down to a 4-point game with 90 seconds left. Rashunda Jones outside. She's got good handles, and she is fouled by Zoe Wells. Rashunda only a 52% free throw shooter.
And we thought this could be a factor if it got to a nip and tuck game, and certainly has done that.
And she's been quiet tonight offensively in terms of scoring. Only 2 points. She's had a number of assists.
She hit her first basket tonight. Since then, she's 0 for 4 from the field.
All NIC selection a year ago, but she drained that free throw. 5'8" junior. Has had some big games this year and big moments, including the season-high 26 against Marion back in November.
Student Athlete of the Week at halftime, and she did a great job with that.
4 points now for Jones. 2-possession game with 1:17 to go. Santiago kicks it back outside. Jared Demos couldn't get the three to go, and the rebound to Kira Reynolds. Who else? She's had about 20 of those tonight. Now a foul called against Jessica Carruthers. That's her fourth. It'll send Amaya Reynolds to the line, where she has been perfect tonight. She'll take free throws sponsored by the South Bend Community Schools.
Jared Demos has hit 2 3-pointers tonight. He has 10 points, but that was a big possession.
Nothing wrong with the shot selection. It just didn't go. And Amaya Reynolds swishes that one. She has 14. Steve Reynolds directing traffic, looking for career win 112. Played for Bob Berger and Tom DeBates, a couple of high-quality boys coaches in this area. Carruthers to Stoddard down low for 2. Lilly with 16 tonight. And Chris Seibert got the timeout he wanted with 53.6 seconds remaining.
First basket for Stoddard in the fourth quarter.
Well, Jessica Carruthers has been huge here in the second half for Crown Point. As you take a look at how she's been able to do it, a little bit of penetration, the step back over Amaya Reynolds, and that shot, the way she does it, cocking it behind her head, allows her to get it off against these larger players. She's only 5'7", but what a show she's put on here in the second half. Averages 21 a game, and guess what? After a scoreless first half, she's right around her average at 20.
What a turnaround for Crown Point in this fourth quarter. They are 7 out of 15 from the field. 33 3-pointers. Washington's 3 out of 13 from the field. Washington has gotten to the line.
And they'll have to hit some key free throws here down the stretch. And traveling called on Rashunda Jones.
Nah, I don't think so. Somebody missed a contact call. It would have been Carruthers' fifth, wouldn't it?
It would have been had it been called on Carruthers. And it sure looks like she gets bumped here on the R&B Car Company replay. It was actually Zoe Wells tangled up with her.
I could see the hesitation step before the contact. So I think the official might have been right on that one.
Oh, that was Dave Spencer. So Carruthers looking to inbound against Shamar Allen. Santiago in the backcourt. Crown Point down 5. They want the ball in Jessica Carruthers' hands. She gives it to Stoddard underneath through Gerardimas. Great pass by Gerardimas, and it's a 3-point game. Stoddard with 18.
Good play call from the bench right there.
Amaya Reynolds finds Kira Reynolds. Steve Reynolds doesn't want a shot, but he's got to have crisper passing than that. And Mila Reynolds was mugged from behind by Santiago. So it'll be Mila Reynolds going to the line, 67% free throw shooter.
Fourth foul on Santiago, but with just 23 seconds to go, that's not her concern. They want to put Washington at the line.
Mila with 12 points, make it 13. Second all-time scorer at Washington behind a player by the name of Skylar Diggins.
Heard of her.
Second on its way, and good. Boy, Washington's been far better than advertised at the foul line tonight. Gerardimas, Carruthers, they need to take a shot, and she will. It won't go in. The rebound comes to Shamara Allen. Mila Reynolds is down on the floor, slow to get up. And this is not good news for the Washington Panthers.
Yes, she's played hard tonight. She's probably a little bit tired. 8 out of 9 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter for Washington. Chuck, they've answered that challenge.
Oh, the elbow of Stoddard came down right in the middle of Mila Reynolds' forehead. That is a full Excedrin headache right there.
Yeah, that's what Steve says, hey, that's my little girl you're out there whacking on. loves the effort of his ball club. Boy, this has been a fun one. You know, we look forward to this one for a long time, and nobody's disappointed, and can't say enough about Jessica Carruthers, what she's done here in the second half.
Well, for player of the game, a lot of different choices here. If I have a vote, and I do,
yeah,
it's Kira Reynolds, just because of the work she's done on the boards to go with 13 points.
But again, as you said, there's so much balance on this team. And when the other team gets in a huddle and says, okay, defensively, what are we trying to do? We need to stop Reynolds. Which one?
Craig, you got one?
Yeah, I do. I think Kira's been phenomenal. I mean, as you mentioned, just her activity in the paint, and then, man, I think it's just underappreciated how well she starts their break for them.
Well, it's like Nagel's mayoral campaign. He gets outvoted, and so Kira Reynolds will be our player of the game.
That hurt. That hurt.
Hey, they love you so much in Mishawaka.
You did me a favor?
Yeah. Well, they named a street after that campaign.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Second place.
Thanks, partner. Yep.
60-55 Washington. Long lead pass to Amaya Reynolds, and she draws the foul on Santiago, who will foul out. Her loss, while tragic, is necessary here.
Leaves the game with 4.4 seconds left to go, but I love the fact that when the pass was completed, there wasn't a quick thought about going to the basket and trying to get maybe a dramatic layup, but draw the foul, get to the free throw line.
And Amaya Reynolds, who has battled some health problems this year with some leg issues. You see that big white wrap she has on her right knee. Will go to the line, and she leads this Panther team in scoring tonight with 15 points. But terrific balance, and what a great game by both of these teams here tonight. And don't be surprised if we see them again in LaPorte at the semi-state level in about 3 weeks. Amaya with 16. Carruthers will fire one last missile from half court, and this one has come to an end. The final score, Washington 62, Crown Point 55. We're back to wrap it up with our post-game show after this on 46.
Nothing to look at over here. All right, we are here with the player of the game. Kira, congratulations. I know winning, it's what you guys do here, but talk to us about how it feels to win a game like that.
I mean, they won 4A state last year, so I mean, it's obviously a big game. We're only 3A. It was a good game. It's a hard team. We had to fight every single minute of the game.
Now, you do a lot of things for this team. And one thing that I pointed out to the team here is your ability to rebound the basketball and bring it up the floor. I mean, how long have you been working on that from a skill set?
Ever since I started basketball, I mean, they started me off as like a guard. I mean, the height just came later. You started as a guard, you work on all the ball handling, you work on everything like that. So when you're big and you get taller, I mean, you can still handle the ball. Great.
As you head into next week, what are you guys going to think? What do you think you're going to be working on as a team?
I mean, I think we're going to stay focused. We need to think about the long run. Like, it's sectionals. If you lose, you're done. I mean, you just got to work hard every single minute of the game.
Well, you guys worked hard tonight. Congratulations. Back to you, Chuck.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week, brought to you by
A 62-55 win for the Washington Panthers over the defending 4A state champion Crown Point Lady Bulldogs gives Steve Reynolds' team its 20th win of the season as they get ready for the tournament next week, and a strong field, including their rival, the Marion Knights, that they'll have to get by. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel high above the fray, and partner Crown Point looked dead for rights early in the second half, down 15, and then all of a sudden Chris Seibert's team found a way to get back in it and make it very interesting at the end.
They sure did, and it could have been more interesting had Washington not really ripped the nets on those free throws tonight. 15 out of 18, 85%. One of the things that I was impressed with Washington, we talked about how they were off since Martin Luther King Day. So for them to get back on the floor after 9 days off, I thought they came out with a good deal of intensity and had a good first half. So they answered that challenge.
4 players in double figure scoring, but only one person just cleaned the glass tonight. And that player is our player of the game, standing by now with Craig Heather.
All right, we are here with the player of the game. Kira, congratulations. I know winning, it's what you guys do here, but talk to us about how it feels to win a game like that.
I mean, they won 4A state last year, so I mean, it's obviously a big game. We're only 3A. It was a good game. It's a hard team. We had to fight every single minute of the game.
Now, you do a lot of things for this team, and one thing that I pointed out to the team here is your ability to rebound the basketball and bring it up the floor. I mean, how long have you been working on that from a skill set?
Ever since I started basketball, I mean, they started me off as like a guard. I mean, the height just came later. You start as a guard, you work on all the ball handling, you work on everything like that. So when you're big and you get taller, I mean, you can still handle the ball.
Great. As you head into next week, what are you guys going to think? What do you think you're going to be working on as a team?
I mean, I think we're going to stay focused. We need to think about the long run. Like, it's sectionals. If you lose, you're done. I mean, you just got to work hard every single minute of the game.
Well, you guys worked hard tonight. Congratulations. Back to you, Chuck.
And you mentioned the free throw shooting of Washington. Apparently they've shot the lights out here on the west side because they're turning them out to try to get the fans out of here. But what a performance by the Washington Panthers. And as you look in that 3A sectional, and I know Steve Scott, the head coach from Marion, and his staff were here tonight to watch. They feel they have a legitimate chance, and they do. But can anybody really derail this Washington team?
Well, you're going to have to do it in certain ways, and I think Coach Seibert thought if we get in a tough situation, we can foul them and make them miss free throws, and they didn't do that tonight. So what we thought, our homework that we had done, we thought that was kind of a sore spot for Washington, but they overcame it. I think what both teams, we're talking about Marion and Washington, are both very good teams, well-coached teams. And I'd tell you one thing that kind of hit me about the game tonight. This Washington team deserved to have many, many more fans here tonight at the Great Western Forum. I know it's cold, but these ladies have done a great job. They've represented the city of South Bend well and Washington High School well. And we have a great year for girls basketball here in Northern Indiana, and I hope the fans will get a chance to enjoy some of it.
I'll make it right in the postseason. Get out and see one of the games, and we're going to go see a boys game on Friday night, which should be a dandy at the Panther Pit. There will be some atmosphere there, always is, when Warsaw takes on #1 Northwood, and we hope to see you then. Until then, our thanks to our TV-46 crew who battled through the elements to bring you this one, led by our production manager, Dean Korsmo, and our usual cast of passionate men and women who bring you high school basketball each and every week. A reminder, we have college basketball on the radio Thursday night when the Purdue Boilermakers visit Iowa. That's a 9 o'clock tip-off with Rob Blackman on 103.1 FM. And then, as I mentioned, Friday night, a big one in the Northern Lakes Conference as the Warsaw Tigers take on the 3A #1 ranked Northwood Panthers. You'll see it Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. For the Hall of Famer Bob Nagel and Craig Heatherly, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final, Washington 62, Crown Point 55. So long from the west side of South Bend.